Hey guys, what's up? It's Miko. I'm with Oracle Chamber. I'm going to be stepping in, substituting here for Kyana. She's not well for this lunar cycle. For all you astro geeks out there, you astro nerds, this lunar cycle is taking place in Kyana's 12th house. For those that don't know, the 12th house represents the realms of the subconsciousness. We won't get into that too much, but here I am, big shoes to fill. I will do my best to convey the messages here that Kyana has for you for this new moon that's happening in Virgo today, Sunday, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's just a few hours from now as I'm recording this. This new moon is happening 17 degrees Virgo and contains a grand earth trine. All these semantics in relation to the etymology, the language of astrology can be really confusing, but a grand earth trine is basically a very positive earthian energy. So we're going to get into it here. Bear with me, it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. And we're just going to keep this short and sweet. Many new moon blessings out to all of you as we dive into this Virgo new moon. All right, so we all know that new moons bring about new beginnings, both literally and metaphorically. It's about planting new seeds, setting new intentions, about what you're wanting to manifest and see into fruition come the lunar cycle. As you know, we're constantly going through a new and full moon phase where the full moon is shedded, where something is kind of brought out into light, where the seed is bursting open and ready to be formed. So the new moon is about planting and the full moon is about bursting open. Right. So this new moon sits on the Sabian symbol at 17 degrees called a volcanic eruption. So what a Sabian symbol represents is like every degree within the zodiac, every degree has a symbolic meaning behind it. So this is birthed back in, I think, the early 1900s, but we've adopted this understanding so that we can just understand the energies that emanates through each degree. So at 17 degrees in numerology, it's 8, so 8's the symbol of infinity. But the volcanic eruption at 17 degrees in Virgo is symbolic to an explosive energy of long repressed contents of the subconscious. So we can understand the meaning behind this symbol by really understanding how the subconscious works, and that's a whole another video in and of itself. But the subconscious basically is the parts of the mind that are hidden from ourselves, right? And with this energy, the things that we've repressed, that we've stuffed, it's wanting to come out, it's wanting to be expressed. And this new moon, I feel, is about initiating just that. Ever since Jupiter went into Scorpio, we know that we have come into the realms of really digging deep within these realms to begin with. The subconsciousness, the repressed emotions, the repressed everything. This new moon in Virgo is a treasure hunt into the landscapes of our mind. This new moon is asking us to solve the riddle, as Virgo is the ultimate mind game. Virgo is the ultimate mind game being ruled by Mercury. We want to look for clues now. We want to look for clues now because we can feel the energy pushing and birthing forth this energy with this grand trine in the earth signs. So the grand trine that's happening is in this new moon conjunct Mercury. It's trining to Saturn in Saturn in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. So it's not very predictable, but we definitely know that it's foundational and it's settling in. It's settling in this energy. So this is why when we understand the mercurial energy, we really want to be in alignment with understanding how important it is that we are feeding ourselves good thoughts, good energy in relation to what is good for you. So you want to be mindful of the thoughts that you're letting in, the things that you are watching, the people you're surrounding yourself with. If they're bringing out any type of toxicity, this is where you want to set the intention to release your energy from whatever the entity it is that's kind of keeping you in this state of toxicity. So when we understand the Virgo energy, Virgo season really represents the changing of seasons, right? It is. It's a mutable energy, and as we understand, mutable is interchangeable, it's changing. When we come into Virgo season, we know we're getting ready to fall into the autumn season. And Virgo is about cleansing, it's about health. There's a lot of misconstrued perceptions, I feel, about Virgo. Virgo seems to have a very negative connotation in the industry of astrology. It gets irritating at times.
Because I am a Virgo.
But at the same time, I understand. I have an understanding of why people find Virgo so irritating. Virgo is about doing things better, you know? So the intestines are ruled by Virgo. It is symbolic to the Virgoian energy in and of itself that the intestines simply exist to absorb nutrients and to dispose waste. Getting rid of shit that's toxic, that's poisonous to the body, and keeping everything regulated so that things are in balance, right? As we move into the Libra season. That's the whole gist of Virgo and Virgo energy. And so, you know, being played out in human form, we're constantly seeing the flaws. I mean, but it's annoying for a Virgo for themselves. I have to tell you, speaking for myself, that I annoy myself sometimes with how much I can really ruminate over and over again on trying to make something perfect. For instance, this video. I think this is my third time trying this, and so I find myself rambling, and I don't like doing so. I'm like going to stop right now. So Venus entered shadow September 2nd, 24 degrees Libra. So what that basically means, whatever themes are playing out in your environment in relation to whatever. Venus is about the things that you're passionate about, what you love. Relationships, projects and whatnot, all that cookie cutter stuff. Whatever is going on around the 2nd of September. Yeah, and from there on, like it's important to really pay attention to the details of what's happening, because we're going to be revisiting the same themes once Venus goes retrograde, and I believe this is happening in October. We're going to be revisiting these themes. Venus retrograde is basically, the retrograde is about going inward, and then we're going to be asking ourselves the questions of, what do I really love? Do I really love this career? Do I really love this project, this family, this relationship? Today's new moon is opposing Neptune, exact, and is in a trine with Pluto and Capricorn, and also sextiling Jupiter and Scorpio. So more so, again, more transformational. We're digging deep into these themes that are repressed within us, transforming them in radical ways, bringing our visions and our dreams down into manifestation. So it's a good time to pay attention to the details of whatever is coming through your subconscious to your conscious. It's a good time to journal your dreams, set intentions for what it is you want to create for the next 6 months, and pay attention to the details of your daydreams as well, because we're concretizing a lot of these energies. Be mindful of the vibration you're vibing at, and if anybody is causing or triggering themes within you, sometimes you just need to sever that relationship. It's not even about that person. It's really hard, because I think that we have a sort of this unconscious sense of obligation, because people, we identify and label people, and these identification and these labels and these roles like have such a strong symbolic meaning behind them that we attach to them, and then we are feeling guilty because we can't live up to whatever those expectations are. This is that whole deep shadow stuff. Since Jupiter went into Scorpio, I think I was talking about this earlier, we've been digging up, doing shadow work, whether we're conscious of it or not. If you're conscious of it, you're way ahead of the game. But when Jupiter went into Scorpio, we knew that the suicidal risks were going to escalate, simply because Jupiter is forcing us in a very expansive way to look at these themes way deep below the surface. And sometimes it's not easy to come face to face with. It's necessary, because we need to identify with our truths in order to really manifest and create what it is we are saying that we're wanting in this experience. And I mean, just really quick, Jupiter in Scorpio is when everybody really kind of started talking about the importance of doing shadow work. Everybody in their mama came out with, you gotta deal with your demons. And it's unfortunate that the shadow has such a negative connotation. I mean, to the point where people are in fear of themselves. I mean, it can be scary if you're not comfortable with the magnitude of the things that exist within you, because it could, it's unlimited, and we really need to be okay with that, because we don't really want to limit ourselves. But we don't have to use the shadow aspects, because I studied Carl Jung. Carl Jung even mentioned that he felt bad that his introduction to shadow work developed such a negative connotation, because it doesn't represent the evil parts of you or what's bad, or these labels that really hone in and kind of give a signature, an imprint of something demonic. But he really emphasized that the shadow is just basically the things that we're not comfortable within ourselves, and the things that are hidden from our consciousness. That's basically all that means. The themes of ourselves that are hidden from ourselves. And there is a collective unconscious that exists, that's always playing out. And we see it reflected back to us through our media. And that's why they say that, we can't change the world until we change ourselves. So we need to do a cleansing of our subconscious. And the really only way to purge that out is to really come face to face with the things that come up. And you want to pay attention to the details. Okay, back to the report. Mars will enter Aquarius. So Mars and Black Moon Lilith is actually conjuncting during this new moon, and which is a very it's a volatile type of energy, where it's like extreme. It's like a volcanic. It's like when you think about the themes of how in the beginning of a volcanic eruption, it's that on the edge type of feeling. And so Black Moon Lilith is symbolic also to the divine feminine that's been ostracized. She is demanding to be heard right now. And so if you start noticing a lot of strange and weird behaviors, you don't want to give it too much energy, but you want to pick it apart and not take it at face value. September 11th through the 14th, Mars will be in Aquarius, Venus in Scorpio, Uranus in Taurus, and Jupiter will be trining Pluto. Virgo is the ultimate mind game, because we can get to the point where we self-sabotage ourselves if we are too hard on ourselves. The new moon, we want to hone in on the energy because it's opposing Neptune. And again, Neptune has such a negative connotation as well. Neptune, in the astrological industry, they are always saying that Neptune is symbolic to delusions and illusions and whatnot. But I feel Neptune is an actually very spiritual energy. And Neptune is not something that's tangible, but it represents our ability to envision, imaginate, create, bring our dreams down into manifestation. And I feel that this moon is reflected of that. And with this new moon, you can hone in on the energies by just centering yourselves and pay attention to your thoughts, because the mind doesn't shut off. The mind doesn't shut off, especially with it conjuncting Mercury. Your mind is, and having this Uranus, there's probably having this Uranus transit. I hate to really talking about all the transits because I feel like it's just so, it's so much if you don't really understand what the trines mean. It's just a resonating energy where we're getting astronomical downloads into our consciousness. On a subconscious level, Uranus is still retrograde, but we really want to pay attention to those thoughts because, like I said, we're concretizing right now. So if you can direct your energy, if you want it to be in a more positive way, if you want to see the fruition in a more positive way, you want to direct it in that area, whatever it is, write it out, because it's bringing from the ethers into the third dimensional experience. If you're having negative thoughts, you want to dissect it. You don't want to shun it and shove it under the rug and say, oh, you know, this is a bad thought I shouldn't be having. Don't ostracize yourself that way. You want to be more loving and kind of understand where the thought comes from, because a lot of our thoughts are not our own. We're hearing voices or thoughts that are coming in from other people, whether it's our ancestors, whether it's our family, significant other, our boss, society, social media, mainstream media. Like our thoughts are not our own, in a sense. So if these thoughts are coming in, it's just important. I feel like it's just important right now, especially because it's such a fertile energy that we're in with this new moon, that you want to dig and find out where they come from. Because as long as you are bringing light to something, right? It's Carl Jung's quote that he said, you know, you can't change anything without bringing it into consciousness. You know, you're not able to change anything unless you bring it into consciousness. So as long as you're bringing it into consciousness and having awareness, oh, this thought that I'm having, it doesn't even belong to me. I mean, it's a transformative experience in and of itself. So those are good things to endure for this new moon. Pick apart your thoughts, because they're coming in, and I mean, it's not about silencing the mind at this point, because I mean, it's too much Mercurial, Neptunian, and Uranian energy coming through the ethers, and it's affecting us on a collective level. We're all being influenced because we are a part of the one. And when you understand the language of the planets, you can really understand the energy that plays out in the consciousness of humanity. That's why I love astrology. Astrology and psychology go hand in hand. And one day I can't wait until it's all implemented and incorporated in the mental health industry. Okay, I'm off topic. So now we know that the world is moving forward again, as we've just come out of all of these retrogrades. We've been on an inner voyage, severing the most stubborn ghosts of ourselves since Jupiter's been in Scorpio. The key theme here is to be liberated. To be liberated. Liberation is the goal here. We want to liberate ourselves from toxicity. If there are toxic people in your life, Virgo energy is about spewing that shit out. Okay? That's it. Like, no personal feelings involved here. If we're not meshing, we just don't mesh. There's nothing in this world or in the universe that says that we have to be in relation with somebody that causes toxicity within us. You need to sever yourself from that individual, place, or thing, and follow your heart. Leo in the North Node. Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. There has been a lot of infrastructures that are going through magnificent changes, infrastructures that have been set on the planet for us. This is the death of the father archetype, the religion, the politics, the family. This whole system of structures that have been built on our planet for us is crumbling. We'll see the gist of it mostly when actually those two planets conjunct Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, which is supposed to happen, like I think, in the beginning of 2020. So we're all in preparation for what's coming, but a lot of the structures within the psyche, within our own psyche, is actually first being transformed. And as the within, so the without, right? Capricorn won't let us have the power that we so desire until we've proven our own authority for ourselves. This is why I say that it's important to understand how our thoughts are creating so much of our reality. And so if there are people, places, and things, jobs, experiences, projects that you're not in alignment with, you need to sever from it and follow where your heart desires to go, because that's the whole point of this experience. We're here to create. We're part of creation. And as long as the energy of excitement has died for the unknown, for the mystery, we lose a very significant part of our own creative faculties, because the mystery is the whole point. The treasure hunt has begun. We're putting ourselves back together with this new moon. We're gonna set the intention. We're gonna set the intention to put ourselves back together. So the only way we can do that is by asking ourselves the question, where have we been living on autopilot? We want to pay attention to the things that are happening now, as we'll be revisiting them again late October, early November. All systems are being reset. Remember that. All right, guys, so it's time to put on our Inspector Gadget hats. We're waking up. Scan the environment for impurities or blockages that may need healing or dissolution. Yes? Take back control of your mind and health. This is Virgo season. It's time to clean our guts out. Like, what do you call that? It's time to do detoxes. I appreciate you guys watching.
It's hard for me to be on camera, I apologize.
Detox the mind, detox the body. It's a very material, very, very material full moon today. We are in our bodies. If you're feeling sick, take care of yourself. Pay attention. Your body has a language of its own, and it speaks to you. And if it's not right, do what you need to do to heal yourself. The same goes for the mind. Remember, the mind doesn't exist in the third dimension. It doesn't exist here. You can't crack open the brain to find the mind, like you can't crack open a television to find the actors. Understand that you are in control. And so with that, I thank you for hearing me out. Kyana will return at the end of the month for the full moon in Aries, which will be a good one. It's been a challenging few months, but we're gonna push through this because we're here to help one another shift into the change the evolutionary period that the universe is all kind of screaming at us to embrace. I wish you all peace of mind with this new moon in Virgo. Virgo can be very discriminatory. Be easy on yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. And know that everything that we've endured from our ancestors, it's not our faults per se. It's not our family's fault. It just is what it is. And somehow, some way, we are here to transform everything we've ever known about ourselves and what we're capable of. Many new moon blessings. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, or share if you found this video useful in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, Kyana will return by the end of the month for the 4th episode of the Magic Minute Show. I wish you grounding blessing for this new moon, where you are bringing all of your visions and dreams that you desire, that you love, that you're passionate about, into fruition.